let me look at all of you. I think I'm older than most of you. Do you recall the very first day in school when you were tiny and you were the new kid in the community and you had no friends? Oh, and then you saw all the children knew each other and you were standing there like, what did you do to have at least one friend who wants to share? And don't you dare tell me you don't remember. You couldn't be that old. What did you do? Who wants to volunteer or will I volunteer? Come on, let's just play. No serious stuff here. Let's play. Yay! That's what I like. You see, Naomi and I were the youngest in the room. That's why we have a sharp memory. Go, Naomi.
As soon as you said, I am probably the oldest person in the room, I thought, no, you're not by a long way. And I remember my first day at school very, very well, although it's 75 years ago. I arrived with a whole group of other girls. We were all girls, and all of us were new. None of us knew anybody. We didn't know the teacher. We didn't know the room. Our mothers had delivered us. I don't know about the other mothers. My mother was not crying. I think she was quite glad to get rid of me for a few hours. And we all sat around, not talking to each other. We were silent until the teacher, who was a wonderful teacher who I remember to this day, just gave us a game to play. But not one game for each girl, but one game which would only work if we all joined in. And I have to admit to you that I hated it, because what many people don't know is I'm a very shy person. I need to have a specific role, and then I feel comfortable. But if I'm just asked to join in a group, to this day, I don't really know how to do it. I'm an introvert. I need my role, my privacy, and then I feel happy. And I will never, ever forget the feeling of helplessness in the room. Though in the meantime, I have managed to make a number of extremely good friends, new friends, old friends. The one thing they all have in common is that they are all at least one generation younger than myself. Back to you, Vivien.
I love it. And I'm going to tell you a deep, dark secret why young people like Naomi and I jump in for questions like this. Because during our childhood, there were no gadgets, no laptops, no cell phones, just ourselves. So be careful. We have an edge over you. There you go. Now, I'm going to ask you something because it really happened to me. I think I could have done better, but just imagine. I went to a school reunion. Now I'm 71, so imagine when we had a reunion of 50 years. Can you believe it? That's over half a century ago what happened. But anyway, I was so skinny when I graduated, and my hair was down to my waist, like really long. Well, I'm not skinny anymore, and my hair is not long anymore. So I had a name tag. You know where this is going. They're like, you couldn't be. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't lie. So what do you do? Because technically, they've told me that I have expanded through the years. Oh, what to do? Share with me what you would do if someone said that. Yes, Livia.
Thank you, Vivien, for this opportunity. My life started with faux pas. First, it was my father who complimented a newly met guy that he works with his mother. She's such a great and active woman because they share the last name. And the guy replied, "Oh, that's actually my wife." Years later, maybe 2, it was me in the stroller, my father walking me down the alley. That nice lady complimenting him, "Oh, you have such a great granddaughter." "Oh, it's actually my daughter." And things go through the generation. I end up being 22 and half white. Yes, this is just a lie. And people start asking me, "Oh, so you decided to go back to university?" No, I'm actually 22. What can you do? You just reply very sneaky, either with another faux pas that you didn't intend to do, or you just suggest a change of theme. Sometimes I do nowadays to make people aware of something that actually it's quite inappropriate to make them aware about. And I see the reply of, "Oh, it's raining outside and it's snowing now in Munich," right? So just a change of topic that is, of course, disruptive, but it saves the problem. I think as long as there's a belief in the goodwill, things can get ironed out. Thank you.
I love your stories. Those could be dangerous, but if you have a sense of humor, they can be really funny. So you realize my first question was about how do you make friends? The second one was how do you keep the friendship in scenarios like that? Now all my topics are real. Here goes. I'm at a department store, and this girl comes up to me, "Vivien, how nice to see you again." And my thought bubble is, who is this? And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, hi." And I'm like, who is she? And I'm trying to recall, like, oh, yeah, when was the last time we saw each other? I was hoping she'd say the day, the place. And she goes, the usual hangout. I'm like, oh, God, it's not helping any. What to do? What to do? That's my table topics. Please tell me what to do. Who wants to volunteer? The girls are braver than the boys here. The boys are not answering. Who wants to volunteer from the men's department? Yay, Bets, go for it.
So this story you shared resonates with me. I've had several similar cases when something like this happened. I was with one of my friends. We were just minding our business in the city. I think we went somewhere to get some refreshments. It was summer. And the guy approaches us and they started to talk to me how great the work I did, how good was the speech, how good was the conversation we had last night. And I was like, oh yeah, definitely. It was a really great meeting. It was nice to meet you, and I follow you, what you do and everything. Keep up the conversation like everyday life, like when you met a friend. We went we separated. My friend asked on my side, "Man, who was this?" And I said, "I have absolutely no idea." So the best thing here is to get along, going with the flow, go with the conversation. If you have the clue then who were you talking with, then it's good. If you're not, you always had the chance either ask him, be straight, "I don't know who you are," or just go along with it. And eventually you will find yourselves again in the life if it's important. If not, then it was just a fling, just a quick meet, and it was not that important to follow it up.
There you go. You see, if you're wondering, Vivian's so smart, nah, I'm just very good at asking advice from people I don't know, including you. So that's my way of making new friends, by showing them I don't know everything. Do we have time for one more question, or are you going to end this right now, timer?
Oh, let's do one or two more, please.
Oh, right. Okay, great. One or two more. All right. We'll volunteer. Right now, I'm volunteering one of the boys. So let's see what happens here. Again, another true scenario. And thank goodness there were no cameras being used, just my cell phone recorder. As a broadcaster and columnist, I was interviewing someone who's leaving this country to cover an event in America. So, yay, I'm gonna get a new scoop. And it was just casual, having, afternoon tea. But we had spaghetti, we had barbecue because we are in the Philippines. And Frank, that's what my country looks like. So, Frank, yeah, there you go. So, imagine afternoon snack with spaghetti and barbecue. He was so darn good looking and so brilliant. And I was like, ga, ga, ga. So what happens? I got the barbecue stick, right? I had the recorder. Eating my barbecue, I bit the stick. The stick. Now, why is that the problem? Ha! I cracked my front tooth. You know how unglamorous that is, talking to a VIP with a cracked tooth? What was I supposed to do? Cover, cover it up or what? Please, one of the boys, tell me what to do when you're interviewing a very important person and your tooth cracks. And he saw it crack right in front of his face. And he was really trying to be so formal and not laugh or feel sorry for me. Boys, tell me what to do. Who wants to volunteer? Who wants to volunteer? One of the boys. Okay, will it be either Craig or Mohammed?
Yeah, let's
Hey!
try.
Yay.
So, if I were to interview a guy or a woman, and my front tooth broke, what would I do? Yeah, first of all, I know myself. I will probably become very, very nervous and start sweating. That's the first thing I'll do. And the second thing, I'll just act like nothing happened and do my job. Because in this situation, I have a job to do. And yeah, that's the problem, the thing I would have done. Yeah.
There you go. And you see, Mohammed, I think we're kind of related. That's what I did. I just pretended as if I didn't know, but my face was all red. And thank goodness it was not a video recording. And for the last question, you're very brave, Mohammed. Thank you for stepping up to the plate. Since we have more girls and some of them are on blackout and some have spoken and some have not, so for the rest of you, please help me volunteer a girl because this happened when I was 18. Yes, my first formal date. Remember, good old days, long gown and the handsome guy in coat. Fine dining, five-star hotel. Having my mushroom soup, dim light, nice music, because it was a prom. And I was thinking, oh, he really likes me. He's like really looking at me. And when I was reaching towards the end of my soup, I realized why he kept looking at me. It was not mushroom. It was my false eyelash in the soup. Oh my gosh. All this evening, I had one eye like this and one eye like that. Oh my gosh. And I was, what? Delusional, thinking he's so in love with me. Now, what do you do, girls, when you have one eye with eyelash and one eye without, and it's there in the soup? One of the girls, please, or those of you who have spoken, volunteer one of the girls. Let's go for it. This is a true story, huh? Okay, Livia, help me volunteer or voluntold one of the girls. Go.
I should choose someone.
One of the girls, yes.
Okay. Stephanie is still a guest, so I'll ask her politely if she wants. If not, there's hope for others.
Yes, I can. But my reaction would be actually exactly the same as Mohammed. I would maybe not sweat, but I would go red. I would blush like crazy. And I think I would try to cover as you told before, but thinking after I would disappear in the toilet and try to fix everything. But afterwards I would regret my behavior, because I would think it would have been much better to just speak out frankly, oh, this was just such a bad happening, and everybody will understand that stuff happens. And yeah, but I think my first reaction would be to try and hide, and I would regret afterwards, because the funniest thing is, or the best thing is to take it in the fun way and be frank about it. That's what I think. It's difficult to do.
Yay! I love it. So you see, Stephanie and Mohammed, those of you who are new at doing crazy things, and please, all my stories are wacky and they're all true, because my choices were to realize that he wasn't exactly that into my beauty. It was like I looked weird. Second choice was to get the other eyelash and throw it into the soup and say, I was just looking if you were paying attention. Or to pretend I didn't realize it's an eyelash and just eat it like mushroom. Yeah. So there you have it. That's how my life has been. That's how I was able to make friends, because I have so many bloopers and boo-boos in my life. And I realized, hey, they still want to be my friend after all. So that's my amicable find a friend advice to all of you Toastmasters and your friends. Stop worrying, because if they really want to be your friend, you can have all the bloopers in the world and they will help you laugh at yourself. It worked for me, and I hope it works for you. And one of you, please deliver a speech called The Amicable Way to Make a Friend. I hope you win a prize with that. And so I say, bye for now. Love and kisses from Manila, Philippines. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you.
Thank you so much, Vivien. I had so much fun with your table topics. And I really like the very last question. For the rest, I was so happy somebody else volunteered. Very tough one.